So Apple today has revealed so many new products today, such as the new MacBooks, new AirPods, and brand new HomePod mini colors. Starting off with the HomePod mini. It hasn't received an update, but we just got brand new colors. So blue, yellow, and orange. More color options at the same price. These colors will be available in November, which is around the corner. And then finally, after that, AirPods 3. These has been most rumored, anticipated. We don't know how Apple is going to price them, and Apple delivered. The AirPods 3 cost $180, so actually being cheaper than the second gen, because prior to this, if you were to get the AirPods second generation with the wireless charging case, that runs you $199. Now seeing this at $180 and having a brand new redesign and also having adaptive EQ and spatial audio, this is definitely a welcome change. It is pretty nice how Apple included spatial audio support on the base AirPods. You don't have to go out and get AirPods Pro, or even so, the AirPods Max, which is my favorite AirPods to this day. And you finally have sweat and water resistance. So now you could be jogging in the rain, take a shower with your AirPods on. So you can do all of that with the third generation AirPods. The battery life has also received an upgrade, so getting 6 hours of listening on one single charge, and you're getting 30 hours of listening time with the charging case. So once your AirPods die, you can put it in the case and then be able to quickly charge it and get right back into your music. And everything is about the same like AirPods Pro, minusing the silicone tips and also transparency mode, noise canceling. You have MagSafe support. So if you pick up the Apple MagSafe that charges the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13, you could charge up your AirPods third generation using that same MagSafe puck. And then we have the absolute star of the show, the brand new MacBooks. So first things first, brand new sizes coming from a 13-inch display to a 14.2 and a 16-inch, very minor, coming from 16 inches to 16.2. Now, both of these MacBooks feature either the M1 Pro or the M1 Max. If you guys haven't heard already, the M1 is an absolute powerhouse. So taking a step further, raising the bar yet again, Apple is totally kicking butt when it comes down to the processors. And the M1 certainly didn't disappoint. And I can only imagine the M1 Pro and the M1 Max is definitely, according to the numbers here on Spec on Paper, is definitely going to be screaming performance. And I'm coming from the 16-inch MacBook Pro. I just brought this last year. It's been a year and 69 days. No, I haven't done that on purpose. Apple chose the perfect time to reveal these new MacBooks. I'm definitely going to be upgrading. Now you have the base M1 Pro. This has a 8-core CPU and a 14-core GPU with 512 gigabytes of storage. Now you do have a higher end model which has 10 cores of the CPU and 16 cores of the GPU. And then you have the M1 Max model, 10 core CPU and 32 core GPU. What? 32 cores? That is just like, man, all right. And I'm over here talking about performance as more than just the performance. The MacBooks received a major overhaul, redesign, and I must say it looks pretty thick. It looks pretty thick for what it is. I'm actually going to be comparing it to the first MacBook, my 2015 MacBook, and of course the 16-inch model. I have every MacBook, so you guys don't want to miss that. Definitely going to be doing a comparison, and I'm going to be getting it here in the studio next week, October 26th. This is the part that's crazy. We have the SD card slot back. I cannot tell you guys how many times I forgot the dongle at home. It's just unbelievable. There's times where I want to work on a project out and about, and I'm looking for the SD card slot, and there's no SD card slot. So this one here is going to save all the headaches and have the SD card slot on the side alongside with Type-C. So you can still use the dongles if you want, because sometimes the dongles could be a little bit faster than the SD card reader, but it's good to have an SD card reader on the MacBook again. HDMI is here. MagSafe is here. In case you guys forgot about MagSafe, MagSafe saved a lot of laptops. So if you trip on the MagSafe cable, your laptop is not going to be flying off the table. This is going to safely eject the MagSafe 3 and your laptop is going to stay where it is. If you still have a 2015 MacBook Pro, you know, I know a lot of people out there, they still have the 2015 MacBook Pro, and it's arguably the best MacBook Apple has ever made. It has the glowing Apple logo. It has all the ports, and the performance is still pretty justifiable. Unless you edit in 4K videos, you're going to appreciate this upgrade. But yeah, nonetheless, the only thing that's really missing on this MacBook is the glowing Apple logo. I wish Apple would have brung it back some form of way. That would have been a nice throwback. But other than that, the thickness aside, I don't really care about that. No touch bar. I don't care about that. ProMotion. ProMotion is here alongside with the Liquid Retina XDR display. So the same display technology that's found on the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, it is present here on the MacBook Pros alongside with 120 hertz. And I cannot wait to test out the performance, comparing that to my 16-inch MacBook Pro and see how much of a difference it is, how much of a performance gains, because Apple is claiming this to be way faster. The 14-inch with the M1 Max is 13% faster than the Core i7, which is the 13-inch predecessor. That is the Intel one. And even if you go with the M1 Pro, it's 9% faster. CPU performance is 3 times faster. Even if you compare the graphics performance to the Radeon Pro 5600M, which is the model I have, the top of the line graphics, it is 4 times faster. 4 times faster. And even if you go with the M1 Pro, it's 2.5 times faster. But I'm going with the Max. It's all or nothing, baby. It is really all or nothing. And topping that off with the efficiency, better battery life, no fans. Yes, there's fans, but after using the M1 MacBook Pro from last year, that very rarely the fans were kicked off. So having that efficiency is going to be on point, because one of the most annoying things about the 16-inch Intel-based MacBook, the fans will ramp up, the laptop gets super hot, and the performance completely throttles. So this is definitely going to be a welcome change. Make sure you check the software, make sure it is compatible with the M1 chips. If not, then you might want to wait a little bit until it's compatible. Upon looking at the configuration page, you can get the 14-inch model with the M1 Max chip, so you don't have to step up to the 16-inch model. You can save a couple of dollars and configure the 14-inch to have the Max. You can easily save $300 if you configure the 14-inch model, and you're saving a couple of dollars. Now, mind you, you're losing out on the battery performance, so the battery is better on the 16-inch and the screen. So you guys got to ask yourself, do you need the extra screen real estate? In my opinion, it's best to have more screen real estate, because when you open up Final Cut Pro, you have one for the multicams, you have your libraries, you have your effects. You need to have more screen. And even if you're doing music production, you don't want everything all crammed up. So the bigger, the better. That's what they say, right? So you might want to take that into consideration. But if you want to save a couple of dollars, you can get the M1 Max with the 14-inch model. 1 terabyte is completely fine. I'm rocking out with 1 terabyte, and I'm a content creator. I made 100 videos, or 101 thousands of videos. So 1 terabyte is just enough if you use external drives. External hard drives is going to save you a lot of money. And I recommend getting one, editing off the hard drive, and getting another external hard drive to save all your exported videos. So that's going to save you money in the long run. Trust me. And also, to be honest, 32 gigabytes of unified memory should be enough. I'm also been rocking out with 32 gigs. And yeah, never found myself slowing down. The only time the MacBook slowed down is because it's super hot. I had to let it cool. But since the efficiency of the M1 Pro, M1, I was going to say Pro Max, that shouldn't really be a huge problem. The only time you should configure your MacBook is deciding if you should go with the M1 Pro or the M1 Max. Now, I ended up getting both the models, so 16-inch and the 14-inch model, just to compare. So the 14-inch model, it's the M1 Pro, while the 16-inch model is the M1 Max. And I have a MacBook Air that has the M1, so I'm going to be comparing all the M1 series. I didn't even talk about the notch. I really don't care about the notch. You can blacken it out and you're not even going to see anything. So, okay, that pretty much concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments down below. Are you going to be picking up a MacBook Pro 16-inch or 14-inch? Let me know. And if so, which one are you going to get? Are you going to get the M1 Max or the M1 Pro? I'm all maxed out.